In today's video, we are going to talk about the massive breakout that Bitcoin will see very soon, and I will explain exactly the target of this breakout, but I will also tell exactly before which date Bitcoin most likely is going to break out. The SEC is pushing back on the Bitcoin ETF from Blackrock. We have seen a big reaction in the Bitcoin price, but what does it mean for the future of Bitcoin? And how likely is it that BlackRock actually gets this Bitcoin ETF approved? That will be the topics of today's video and many more, so make sure you watch this video until the end. I want to start off with having a look at Bitcoin in the shorter term time frame. As of now, it looks very clearly that we are forming a triangle formation right here and that Bitcoin is consolidating and that most likely we will see a breakout to the upside. Why? Because a triangle formation normally functions as a continuational pattern, and we've entered this pattern from a uptrend, which creates the likelihood that it is more likely that we are breaking upwards than breaking downwards. And in today's video, I'm going to give you exact targets which I'm looking to the upside, and I'm also going to give you an exact date before where I think Bitcoin is going to break out from. But first, I want to have a talk about this price action in Bitcoin, because we have seen quite a wick to the downside, almost a breakdown, and this was quite a volatile move. Actually, at the exact bottom we did got a signal over from WhaleAlerts from the premium index, a very high signal which eventually signaled this reversal, which was quite beautiful. But this sell-off came actually on the news, guys, that the SEC is pushing back against BlackRock. And BlackRock is one of the biggest investment funds, right? And they filed a spot Bitcoin ETF. And guys, this news is kind of crazy, because when BlackRock is getting a spot Bitcoin ETF, it means that a lot of financial institutions are able to invest in Bitcoin. But is this something we really want in the crypto space? Well, I don't think so, because BlackRock are definitely a little bit the investment company that is ruling the world, right? And we don't want them to get their hands on Bitcoin. So that's why it is so important for Bitcoin to be decentralized, that everyone has a part of that whole Bitcoin network, and that not one entity like BlackRock is suddenly getting all of these coins acquired through these financial institutions, because of course then BlackRock can also manipulate the markets, which most likely they are doing with other markets as well. So this is not really something that we want, but it's also inevitable, because of course all the attention is coming to Bitcoin, and of course the rulers of the world, or the biggest financial institutions that right now are already structured in the financial system, of course they are coming for Bitcoin. This was just a question, sooner or later they will come. So I don't think we can stop this, but it's also not the best for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has to be a decentralized system, and we don't want one financial institution to acquire a lot of Bitcoins, which makes it more easier to manipulate the markets. But nevertheless, the higher the market cap of Bitcoin, also the less likely it is for Bitcoin to manipulate. But with that news, guys, that it actually was doubtful that they get the Bitcoin ETF, the price plummeted. And this is a good reaction, because we can see the price dumped just in a 1 4-hour candle chart, or 1 4-hour candle basically right here, but we very quickly got bought up. So that means that there are a lot of buyers stepped in slightly below the low that we have formed right here. So that is actually quite bullish, and therefore I also don't expect Bitcoin to break out to the downside, because normally when we would have these wicks to the upside, it would really show us that there's a lot of selling pressure going on. But this basically shows that a lot of buyers actually stepped in. Guys, I need a moment. If Bitcoin wants to push through this resistance, it needs a lot of momentum, and to push through this resistance, we have to create that momentum with every single one of us by scrolling below this video and smashing up the like button, guys. The more likes we have, the higher the probability that Bitcoin is going to break out to the upside. Every like, guys, is very much appreciated, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell icon. And then also this, guys, I want to share with you, BlackRock has a mind-blowing success rate when it comes down to its ETF applications with the SEC. 575 approved against just one single rejected one. Guys, this means that from all the ETFs that BlackRock has filed, 575 has been approved and only one got rejected. And this kind of looks like they are working together with the SEC, and most likely they do. Most likely BlackRock is one of the, if you are ruling the world, if you are the biggest investment company of the world, you got so much influence on everything that's happening around the globe. And of course, people at the top, they work together. We have seen it in the past couple of years. There are a lot of orchestrated situations, yes, which of course is not a coincidence, right? A lot of things are not a coincidence. And of course, the SEC and BlackRock are working together. And the news that we are seeing right here is kind of just a little bit show, because of course they already have everything set in place. They already know exactly when the ETF is getting approved. They would knew this months ago, right before we actually could know it because of this news. Also, wouldn't pay too much attention to the news. You know, guys, we're not really doing that, but it just looks interesting that we had that dump on that news. But most likely it will become a positive news. Most likely it will get approved. And what will happen with Bitcoin then? I think we definitely can see a breakout to the upside. Also, the stablecoin dominance is actually saying the exact same thing. We're getting rejected from the 4-hour EMA ribbon. We lost the support of the bull flag. Maybe we come back up to test that resistance. But I do expect this to come to this major support, which will be one of the most important moments, at least the support for 2023, because this will tell us, guys, whether 2023 will be a sideways year where we will get a correction and then 2024 will be more bullish, or whether 2023 itself will be way more explosive than most people expect. And I think on a monthly time frame right here, things are actually looking quite good. We just got a bullish cross. We are touching major resistance right here, which also means that if we break to the upside right here from the triangle formation, it is possible that we break above that resistance and definitely can see another big move in the price of Bitcoin. I got some comments yesterday, guys, and I want to talk about that, about Whale Portal, signs that we are seeing over on Whale Portal. And some people said, yeah, no, but we have positive funding rates and something with the premium index, take by sell ratio, open interest. Guys, I want to make something very clear. If you want to use the funding rates to analyze the Bitcoin price, you always have to look at the historic funding for the past couple of weeks, and then you can compare that directly with the price, because the funding rates and the price, they will act different in different market conditions, which means that, for example, in a bear market, we can see the price of Bitcoin going down while the funding rate is negative. That is a possibility. No one expects this, but I have seen this myself. Also, in a bull market, we can see the price of Bitcoin going up with positive funding. This is actually a very strong sign. That means that there's a lot of momentum in Bitcoin, and we have seen this already. Look at this. The average funding fee is positive. Of course, it's coming down, but it's not turning negative, right? And we still see the price coming up. I think that is a very bullish sign. Right now, of course, we are at the levels of neutral, but nevertheless, in a full-blown bull market, it is possible for Bitcoin to break out to the upside and to continue its uptrend, even though the funding rates are positive. And that is the strong part. And that is also why it's so important that you read the articles or check the videos from the Whale Portal YouTube channel about the funding rates, because that's explaining everything you need to know how to interpret these numbers basically. And I also got to say, guys, very, very soon, and we are already working on that for quite some time. We had some different tasks that came in between, why it got a little bit delayed, but very, very soon we have an update where we can analyze every chart that you see right here directly with the Bitcoin price. That's coming very, very soon. Get ready for that, because that is going to make analyzing Bitcoin even more easier than it already is right now with Whale Portal. When we have a look at the premium index, it is kind of okay, it's neutral. When it goes to zero, it's slightly bearish. When it goes to negative, it's slightly bullish. Right now it's kind of negative, so that's okay. Take a buy sell ratio is going up. We are seeing definitely some spikes right here, which means that a lot of people are buying Bitcoin with a market order, including me. I'm still in my trade right here. I actually added some to the trade. Right now it has a lower return on investment because I added higher and the price went slightly lower, but it's still slightly in a profit. It's not a big trade, but I just looking for some exposure if Bitcoin breaks out to the upside, because I already have all my exposure in Bitcoin, right? I'm already all in. Like everything that I have, everything that I own is basically in Bitcoin, and I put everything in Bitcoin exactly right here when I shared it over on the YouTube channel and when I shared it over on Twitter as well, based on the 4-year cycle. But I still, guys, I definitely expect Bitcoin that it's possible to break out to the upside and to continue this uptrend and get an explosive move. I definitely think that is possible, so I'm watching for that. And what is going to happen afterwards, I think this chart is going to be super important, because this chart will tell us, like I said before, whether Bitcoin can have a sustainable explosive move, or that we're just going to have kind of a blow off top event like we had in 2019, and that we then bounce in this chart and will correct in the Bitcoin chart. So guys, basically this is what I'm watching with Bitcoin. I expect a breakout before the 12th of July, but I expect it already early. I think during this week it's most likely to break out. The target of this breakout is the width of the triangle put at the point of breakout, so that really depends where Bitcoin is going to break out to, and that it will be roughly at here 32,500. But like I said as well, guys, if we can break above this, it most likely looks like we break above this horizontal resistance on the monthly and weekly time frame, which means that 32,500 can be just the start, and we might even see Bitcoin going to higher levels. If Bitcoin dips, I might thinking of adding more to my long position. I do think that Bitcoin shouldn't surpass this low right here, 29,500. At least not decisively. So it would be very rare for me to get a wick below that, because we already got bought up there. We already have a huge buying wick. But if we get a decisive break below, that is very bearish, and that shows us that most likely Bitcoin wants to correct further. But as of now, we are still in an uptrend. We are still consolidating in an uptrend. Therefore, I'm going to say the trend is your friend, and I'm going to expect Bitcoin to continue to break out to the upside. Guys, if you want to trade that move together with me, make sure to do so on BitGet. BitGet is one of the best platforms where you can trade Bitcoin and more than 500 altcoins. All of the BRC20 tokens, most AI tokens are all available on BitGet. If you join with the affiliate link down below, you will get a 10% cashback on your first deposit. But you are also able to join WhaleAlerts, which is the private Telegram channel from Whale Portal, which, for example, also sends these alerts when Bitcoin is seeing potential reversals, like we have done right here. So that is quite nice. You get extra information right there, which I think is very valuable. And I get a lot of messages from people that it's that it changed their life, and that they have a lot of And I get a lot of messages from people that it really changed their lives and it's really helping them better trading. So yeah, guys, if you are interested in that, make sure to join with the affiliate link down below. You can also join Bybit, of course. The only thing with Bybit is that you have a mandatory KYC. But of course, Bybit is also a very, very good exchange. But okay, guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, smash up that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful day, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.